Materiality presents you with a way to organize materials information in a way that it is suitable for use by different kinds of engineers within an enterprise. You have a core of libraries that do store different kinds of materials information, and this information is then projected to different engineers, different kinds of engineers, using apps that are created specifically for their specific use. In this way, you can create views that are very particular to an engineering expert, such as a CAE expert, a materials engineer who has different needs for the same information, or even to a test laboratory who would like to upload test data into the same system. Let us see how this works when you go into Materiality software. The Materiality software consists of libraries which are used to store different types of materials information, and then apps that allow you to exploit this data in a very meaningful way for different kinds of uses. The property library is one of the cores of the Materiality system, where you can store virtually any kind of property of any kind of material in full digital detail. This is very useful in order to allow you the ability to manage as well as work with data of great complexity, and sometimes data that is very simple. Each piece of data is supported by a certificate that gives you in great detail information about how that test was conducted, as well as information about the material that has been tested. Controls allow you to do things such as transfer and control access and compare data. Comparison is very important in the case of materials analysis, and there are very powerful tools that automate the process of comparing the properties of materials, such as, in this case, the compare function, which will allow you to, in a couple of clicks, compare nonlinear properties of materials with very, very easy access. Additionally, you can take snapshots of your data and take these pictures directly into PowerPoint presentations or such like. In a similar way, there are libraries that contain materials information so that you can store processing and composition as well as availability of materials. For example, this particular nylon has got processing information attached to it that allows me to say that this is an injection molding grade, and here are some basic molding parameters for the material. I can define composition on the material as well by identifying the different kinds of components that might be present in the material. A lot of data is often used in design and engineering applications, and the CAE modeler is a software that allows you to convert the material properties that you have stored in the system into outputs that are usable in these CAE softwares. For example, you can take material data and send it off to ANSYS by performing a series of very rapid transforms to take my data and generate an ANSYS workbench input in a very rapid way. I can save this data, and when I go to my model library, I can see that I have created an input for direct import into ANSYS. In this way, the Materiality software gives you a fast and rapid way to take raw material data and transform it into properties, inputs for use in simulation. Additionally, When properties are generated, it is very common to have test reports that are put together, usually in PDF or scanned format. With Materiality, you can collect the data sets that you have entered and attach them to one of these reports. So for example, you can pick up these properties and add a report. And say upload. And at that point in time, you have attached a report to this data. And you can view it, the raw data, with a click of a button. So in this way, you have the ability now to manage your information in a more effective way and use these tools to effectively take your day-to-day materials-related tasks into a software environment that has been designed for the purpose. There are many more features we invite you to explore. Each of the apps has got movies that show how the apps work, and they generate very interesting views that you might find useful in your day-to-day activity.